right along, Kate Sherron. I'm sorry I don't have any programs right now. Thank you. Okay, so I'm the director of the James Graham Brown Honors Program in addition to being a philosophy faculty. And so that's my, Director of Honors is my entry into this. Thank you for the award, the Innovation Grant Award, and I'm happy to be here today to update you on the work I did this summer enhancing the academic possibilities for our students. I worked with John Ernst and Dr. Sierra, and this is, maybe I can learn to work on my thing. And this is also, has been an idea, an impetus from Dr. Jagger for several years. So the goal is that we would have more pathways to postgraduate success, and that might be fellowships, but it could be other opportunities. So what are we talking about here? Things like the Goldwater Scholarship, the Carnegie Scholarship, the Fulbright, the Rhodes. You've heard about a lot of these. NFS, undergraduate research placements. CERF is another one, the Warren, the Marshall, other fellowships and opportunities. These kinds of nationally competitive scholarships, fellowships, programs require a lot of advanced planning. And that's important for us as faculty, and it's important for our students. These often have international components, and they usually involve some kind of student-directed research or project. And note that at other institutions, bigger institutions, there are usually entire offices that are devoted to placing students in these programs. So this summer, we did some background research. Occasionally, some of these programs require formal program officer placement or identification. So for example, Tyler Green is the Goldwater rep, and just this month, a few weeks ago, I became the official Fulbright student program rep. So we did background research on the ones that we thought were most accessible, attainable for our students. And then we thought about planning cycles and programming. So again, you can't just wake up January of your junior year and decide, oh, I think I want to apply for a Rhodes Scholarship, right? It has to be much more systematically prepared than that. So we're thinking about how we can do that and partnering with other offices on campus and advising, getting that into the advising curriculum and trying to figure that out. The other thing that we wanted to do was to catalog and highlight what we've already been successful at. Okay, so no, we haven't sent anybody on the road, but we've done some other things. So REU's undergraduate research experiences, we have sent, this is only a tiny little number of the ones that I know that we have sent, but Ellen Gamble went in physics, Andrew Lehmkuhl went and worked for a summer at UK in translational medicine. Other students have done, for the honors program or for their majors, have done significant research projects. The SURF program is another undergraduate research program. Michael Stevens did that at Children's Hospital in Cincinnati in partnership with UC. And then also, it turns out we sent, I think, a fair number of folks to the Peace Corps, which I think is interesting. I'm not sure why that's happened. I don't have like comparative numbers to other schools, but just since I've been here, Peter O'Shea, Julie Geiger, Penny Feltner, and Dan Stevenson have all gone to the Peace Corps. That's a pretty competitive program. Where do I point this? This is not necessarily something that we can take direct credit for, but we have 2 AAAS fellowship alumni. That's a competitive science policy fellowship through the American Association for the Advancement of Science. Finalists become AAAS Science and Technology Fellows. And Amberly Cutterbuck has just done it. I think she's just starting. If she hasn't started yet, it'll be in a few weeks. And Andy Hedler did it a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Another one that you may not have ever heard of is this, it's abbreviated the CBYX. It's the Congress Bundestag Youth Exchange for Young Professionals Fellowship. It's funded by the German Bundestag and the U.S. Department of State. Tommy Arnzen is just gotten to Germany like in the last couple of weeks. He applied, he's a graduate student at Northern, but was an undergraduate here with us in computer science. And then we've also had NCAA postgraduate fellowship winners. So again, just a couple of examples. Laura Finke just got one last year. She played softball, and Chris Fishburne played baseball. And then yesterday or the other day, Penny mentioned a student. She was working with a student on his resume, and he wanted to apply to this something. I can't remember what it was. So that seemed like a big deal. So that seems like another example. So part of cataloging the successes that our current students or alumni have had is for us to recognize that we have some really great students, and also to show the students that they can reach to that. So I'm working with FYS, with the Thomas More Success Center, the Honors Program, Brown Honors Program. ALD is the first year honorary, athletics, even other departments. So what we need to do is identify those potential students and get them into a pipeline. John Ernst and Luis and I are also working on creating and hosting programming for students. So for example, in a couple weeks, I forget exactly what it is, in a couple weeks, ALD is hosting an ice cream social. So we're just trying to identify kind of students who might be interested in these kinds of programs. And then figuring out how to mentor students to create their own success plans and to get the relevant experience. So how can you help? So if any of you have done any of these programs or have applied for any, even if you weren't a finalist, that's fine. Would you be willing to talk to a prospective student? So if you could let me know that. And then will all of us look for and either yourself work with them and or send them to me. Send current students who you think have that kind of potential to be nationally competitive. There's a new monitor in the library. Well, there's two. One's for the library stuff and one's for honors, for the Brown Honors Program, but also for other honors. So there'll be information there. But you can also come ask me or send your students to me. And I believe you have kind of large postcards passed out that have that information too. So that under the TSC's webpage, the Institute for Graduate Studies, I think that's not quite the right name, but there's we'll post those alumni successes and more information there. So you can also forward students to that. So no bourbon, but you have a little postcard from me. Thank you.